Hey everybody, I'm the Drink Pro. We're doing the 12 Days of Michter's, and today we've got SHENK'S and BOMBERGER'S. What's up guys, Kyle the Drink Pro here with you yet again. Thank you guys so much for continuing to like these videos, subscribe to the content, share these videos with your friends, join me on the Patreon. Everything you do to support this channel means the absolute world to me. We've got a fun one today that's a little bit off of the standard path. You know, I'm doing every Michter's I can get my hands on, and people sometimes forget that these products are Michter's because it isn't called Michter's. I don't even have them poured yet because I had to make room for all the Michter's. It is SHENK'S and BOMBERGER'S. Now, if you watched my US 1 video, you know that the SHENK'S name was the initial person who started the Michter's distillery, what it eventually became known as. It was first the SHENK'S distillery. And then BOMBERGER'S was, I think his name was Alfred? What was his name? Albert? Augusto? I don't know. Don't put that in the edit. Mr. Bomberger bought SHENK'S distillery in the late 1800s. Now, obviously, the ownership changed hands many times thereafter that, particularly with Prohibition. The ownership changed again and again, but it is really cool for them to pay homage to this distillery with the original owners for SHENK'S, then BOMBERGER'S. And now, I've got 3 different pours here, obviously, and I've only named 2 names. So, what's going on? Well, I've got the 2019 SHENK'S, the 2019 BOMBERGER'S, and the 2020 BOMBERGER'S. So first I'll shout out Gregory Lane. Thanks so much, Greg, for the 2020 BOMBERGER'S. The 2019 BOMBERGER'S and SHENK'S were both courtesy of Ryan at the Naptown Bourbon Club. The Naptown Bourbon Club's a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, and they do a lot of great work here in Indianapolis. I implore you to check out their website. It is in the description to this video. They just completed a really cool charity auction this month and gave a lot of money away to people in need. So check out the Naptown Bourbon Club for more information. So if you ask anybody for these whiskeys, you can just call them SHENK'S or BOMBERGER'S, but that's actually not the full names of the pours. SHENK'S is called SHENK'S Homestead, and BOMBERGER'S is called BOMBERGER'S Declaration. Now, SHENK'S Homestead makes a little bit more sense to me because it was basically this guy's family farm he started distilling on, so it was his homestead. Makes sense. BOMBERGER'S Declaration, I'm not sure I know exactly what that's about. If you know, put it in the comments below, please. But I haven't had the chance to look in that deep. They certainly didn't say anything about it on the Michter's website, which, again, go back to my US 1 video to see why. Partly, I think, because they basically just bought this history. Michter's in Kentucky has nothing to do with Michter's in Pennsylvania, which is where these people come from. Nonetheless, there's something very interesting between the 2019 and 2020 versions of SHENK'S and BOMBERGER'S. Chinkapin Oak. Now, I don't think I'm saying that right. I'm not really sure how to say it, but Chinkapin Oak is a special kind of oak that was used to make the staves for some, not all, but some of the barrels that went into Michter's and SHENK'S. And important to note, in 2020, that percentage was higher. So they upped the amount of Chinkapin aged whiskey that went into these blends. How will that affect the flavor? Well, I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't find a lot of good information out there about Chinkapin Oak and how it affects the flavor of whiskey. But here's what I do know, is Chinkapin Oaks are sought after by a lot of animals for their sweet and palatable nuts. The acorns coming out of Chinkapin Oaks are delicious, allegedly. I've never tried them, but if that's any indication, maybe there's some kind of sugar content that's higher in this wood, something else is unique, I don't know. We're gonna find out based on the taste. Besides the fact that it has higher percentages of Chinkapin Oak aged whiskey in it, the 2020 BOMBERGER'S also had some more information on the website about the staves used for the barrels being air dried for 3 years. I didn't see that kind of information about the 2019, so I am presuming that it is different than what was being done in the past. We'll see how that affects the flavors. Now we're gonna start with the SHENK'S. It's 45.6%. So it's relatively low proof compared to these BOMBERGER'S, which are both coming in, I think, at 54%. I'm definitely getting some distinct honey or maple syrup. The caramel is really prominent. It's this sweet, almost sickly sweet, but it's not as sharp as I was getting from the 10-year-olds or the standard issue whiskeys. I know this is coming out before the 10-year-old releases, but they were very sweet. I'm really getting a lot of candied pecan on this. It's like caramel and cinnamon and honey and pecan. It's a very beautiful nose. Now, it's not super nutty. The nuttiness is sort of secondary to the general sweetness I'm getting. I'm definitely getting some lemon, maybe even some raisin, some currant, and maybe a little bit of cinnamon and spearmint, but pretty quiet in that realm. It's mainly sticking with that interesting, big, sweet caramel vibe. All right, let's go ahead and give it a taste. Man, that tastes a lot like some of those standard whiskeys. It's richer. It's a bolder flavor. There's more oakiness to it. To me, if I had to guess, and this is total speculation, but I think the age for this is somewhere between the standard bourbon and the 10-year bourbon. But it's got that kind of a feel. It's got like a 7 or 8 year bourbon feel to it. The oak is a lot more prominent on this. It's not sharp. It's not bitter. It's sweet oak. It's nutty and oaky. Yeah, it's sort of like missing the mid palate. I'm not getting a lot of like fruitiness on this pour. I'm not getting a lot of even the sweet aromatics. I'm not getting caramel. I'm not getting honey or maple. I know I smelled those, but on the palate, it's mostly like vanilla, quiet, and then immediately into this nutty oakiness. All right, now let's go check out the 2019 BOMBERGER'S. Now remember, this is a step up in proof. We're going up to 108 proof, I think, 54%. And you can smell its higher proof. It's a lot sharper on the nose. Yeah, this is pretty astringent on the nose, actually. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of interesting notes, I'll be quite honest. It's sweet, vanilla. I definitely get some oakiness. There's definitely some peanuttiness. There's more peanut on this than most of these other ones. I've heard people say that BOMBERGER'S is really peanutty, but like compared to Booker's, it's not that peanutty. It's just compared to the other Michters, it's pretty nutty. Yeah, I think that's the oakiest pour yet. That is all wood. It is oaky and sweet. Ooh, a little bit of a currant or a raisin in the mid palate into the finish. Actually, it's got some of the caramel sweetness on the finish. It's sort of backwards from what I often expect. I usually expect like caramel, then like a nutty fruitiness, and then oak. And this kind of did the opposite. I got oak first, and then I got sweet caramel at the end. That's weird. I mean, I don't know that I have much to say about that. It's just super oaky. And the thing of it is, it's not even like different woods, different nuts. No, it's just oak. It's sweetness and oak. Maybe you get some black pepper into the mid palate. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of boring to me. Not sure I love that BOMBERGER'S. Let's see if 2020 is a better BOMBERGER'S. Wow, well, on the nose, it's certainly a lot sweeter. Yeah, the 2019 smells a little bit nuttier. The 2020 is a very sharp sweetness. I think it was a smart move by Michter's to turn up the volume on that Chickapin oak because the only thing I know about it really is that the acorns are sweet. And this seems sweet. The oakiness is more prominent, but it's a sweet oak. It's honeyed oak. I get a little bit of fruit, so it's not as overpoweringly nutty and woody. Get a little bit of lemon. Green apple, vanilla, cinnamon, pepper, nutmeg, ginger. I'm just kind of huffing it now. Ooh, and the berries are starting to show up now. Okay. Now let me go back to the 19 here. Like, I really want the 19 to be more than it is, but the 20 is kicking its ass. All right, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Oh, something must have happened to this 19 BOMBERGER'S. Because the 20, much better. Big, bold, sweet flavors. And then, huge transition in the mid-palate and goes into this really strong, bitter wood to the finish, which is not usually my favorite note, but because it's part of a journey, I respect it a lot more. I feel like the 19, didn't get too extreme in any direction, but it was just boring. The BOMBERGER'S 2019 didn't go anywhere. The 2020 takes you on a journey. Bitter, dry oak, then you get sweet honey and vanilla. Then you get some of this like dried fruit, this apricot, this raisin. Then the nuts show up, walnut, almond, Brazil nut. That's not a real note. That one's for Nate. I think the palate on the Shenk's of the three is probably my favorite. But that's a personal preference thing. The most interesting is definitely the 2020 BOMBERGER'S. I wish I had had the 2020 Shenk's to do this. I feel like somebody offered it to me or gave it to me and I didn't have it here, so I don't know what happened. If somebody can get me the 2020 Shenk's and probably more the 2019 Shenk's because this one's gone, I'll be happy to do a side-by-side and compare the 19 to the 20 to do the same kind of thing I just did with the BOMBERGER'S. But what are you going to do? You got to do the reviews you can do with the whiskey you've got on hand. So that's what I've done. Thank you guys so much for joining me and keep watching the show. I hope you enjoy the rest of this Michter series and keep drinking like professionals. Cheers.